Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode with Mystic Scales and Fae Tales
Fake Tales
podcast.
podcast.
I'm Jen.
And I'm Lee. We're here with another full-length episode.
A very
Um,
exciting full-length episode because we
yeah,
are celebrating 6 months of this podcast, which is
crazy,
insane. You know,
crazy.
technically we're on season two already.
Did, yep. 12
Uh,
episodes and we switched over. Very exciting.
exactly. 12 full length and 12 mini episodes. So that's like, what is that?
I mean, that's
18 hours of
24.
us speaking?
Yeah, that's all. That's a lot. Thank you
I
all for
know.
bearing with us and listening.
And we've had um we had
Lynette,
four
Lynn,
guests.
four
We
guests.
In that time we've had four guests and one of them even came back for a
Yep.
second time. So it's been really
Yep.
exciting. Um Thank you all for listening, for coming and showing up and being with us to talk about these books. And
Mhm.
our book
Even
club
if
has grown.
you, yeah, even if you haven't read the books yet, people are listening, and I think that's so nice. Like,
Yeah.
even though we spoil things, so sorry,
I mean,
but
then I don't have to read the book if they don't want to read the book too. So,
true. Or they'll just get excited and read the book anyways.
exactly.
So love that too.
Literally. I just want to shout out our book club. Thank you all. We've grown this book club from, I think when we started the podcast, we had like 400 something. Now we're close to 600, which is amazing that all
Hmm.
these people want to be in our book club, want to read with us, interact with us. And if you haven't joined it yet, make sure to join our book club, Mixed Scales and Fae Tales podcasts. And we're on the app Fable. If you haven't had the app Fable, download the app Fable. It's great. So much better than Goodreads. It helps you track your books, track everything you're reading. This is not sponsored, even though they should sponsor us.
No.
But we use it constantly, and that's how we made so many of our book friends who've even been on this podcast. The
Mhm.
app is really like it's kind of weird to say that like this app has changed our lives in a crazy way because it has.
Yeah.
And here we are. And so thank you all. Happy 6 months, Lee. That's, our glass. It's not imaginary glass in our hands. Cheers.
Oh my
I'm
God.
very proud of
Well,
us.
yeah, and kind of in theme, we're going to be talking about our roots today. So this episode is taking us back. So I guess you could raise your three fingers in salute. So we're going to talk about Catching Fire today, folks. Our first episode was about the Hunger Games, which is our favorite book series. So we figured we'd just go back to that, and we've done Sunrise, we've done Ballad, so let's talk Catching Fire.
Yeah, I think this is great because then when we make our 1 year in January of 2026, we could do Mockingjay. And it's a
Hmm.
nice three anniversaries for our first year talking about our favorite series of all
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
I want to start off, I think it would be fun, Lee, if you talk about what event did we do recently together that was Catching Fire themed?
Oh, our movie event.
Yeah, talk about it.
So Alamo Drafthouse was doing, I guess they did all of the movies. But Alamo Drafthouse is like where you go in and you can order food and watch your movie, and it's supposed to be like very quiet and like whatever. But they were doing like watch parties, so they did a Hunger Games one, and we caught it for Catching Fire. So we got there early, we were all dressed up. They had little props for us. So we got our bow and arrow. They
Which,
had
for
sugar
anyone that
cubes.
is, yeah, sorry, for anyone that is listening, I'm showing the props. Hopefully, we'll do video so you can see, but
Yeah,
bow and arrow.
yeah. We got a bow and arrow. We got a sugar cube.
Wait,
We
not
got,
only a sugar cube, we got Phoenix
oh,
Secrets sugar
yes,
cube. It's
that's
labeled
the
on it,
label.
Phoenixing.
Mhm. Very cute. There was holographic like disc, which I don't really know what it is, but it's
It's
cute.
supposed to represent the arena, like
I mean,
when they
yeah,
break the arena.
yeah, but
Um,
I don't know what it actually is for.
no, but
It's
it has the Alamo on it, so
so. And then yes, there are matches, which are like little arrows, and that's supposed to be for our Katniss, our girl on fire.
it even says it, girl on fire.
Yeah, they really. kind of went all out. So that was very cool. There was an Effie there, like one of the workers was dressed as Effie, so she kind of like raised a toast and um we
Which you
saluted
got
at the
wrong
beginning.
in the
Yeah,
beginning.
she did say it wrong, but that's okay.
And then we read it.
Um,
It's fine.
yeah. And oh, and then when we first got there, they did like the bad lip reading, which I had never seen before. So they had a bad lip reading of Catching Fire, and it was just kind
That
of
was funny.
entertaining. A lot of it was Gale, which was funny.
Yeah, and they also had SNL skits that were themed to Hunger
Oh
Games
yeah, yeah,
playing, which
yeah.
was really, really funny.
The Jennifer Lawrence ones. Oh, and they made Peta, poor Peta. They just call him out for being short. That's not Josh's fault. Uh, so yeah, no, it was really fun because we actually haven't watched the movies together.
Mm-mm.
So that was our first time doing that. I obviously saw Catching Fire in theaters when it was out, but I haven't seen it in theaters since. Probably the same for you.
Same. Yep.
And it was nice to be watching it without any distractions, like when you're at home, like you're on your phone or like whatever, you're getting food, like this was just the movie and like you could be fully immersed. And plus like we had already like read Sunrise twice. Um so we had that in our head, so we're kind of like seeing the movie through a different lens or like watching Haymitch, and it was great. I'm
That
really
was
glad we got to do
funny
that.
because as we were watching it, yeah, me too. I'm so happy we went. As we were watching it, like I was like post reading Sunrise with you, and I was just like, it's not gonna be a happy ending, Katniss. Like everything's gonna fail, Katniss. Like don't do this, Katniss. Even though like we know what happens and Katniss like does defeat them. But in my head, I
Sure.
was like, no, Snow is more powerful. Like you're gonna die, Katniss. Everyone's
Yeah,
gonna die. Like as if I've never seen or read this book before. I was just like Sunrise got to me so hard that I was like, everything sucks,
really.
Katniss. And I was just
Yeah.
like, yeah, but I think we were noticing things in the movie. I mean, like obviously they didn't have Sunrise before. And but she already laid the groundwork so much in the Catching Fire book that it was nice to see in the movie. And you're like clocking it, I guess, more, or you're just paying
Mhm.
attention to those details more, so which is gonna come in handy when we finally see the sunrise one.
Right. And I think like what we're gonna have to do soonish, which might be another 6 months, is we're gonna have to reread the first three books
Yeah.
and really kind of like dive deep on those. So that'll be exciting. But yeah, this was kind of like a start to that.
When did you last reread the books?
Um, I want to say maybe like 7 years ago. Definitely.
Wow, really?
Yeah, definitely
I don't know why I'm
before
surprised because it took me a
2020.
long time too.
I used to reread Catching Fire like every fall.
Wow. Not your
I
fall book.
Yeah, I don't really know why. I have a correlation. This is really strange. I have a correlation between Catching Fire, The Fall, and Taylor Swift's Red album. So those are all like an aesthetic for me.
That's so funny. Oh
So
my God.
I should make like a Pinterest board
You
of that.
should like the girl aesthetics, and it's just
I think
does the music of the
so.
album go well with the book?
I think so. I think my favorite song that does is Treacherous. So you should listen to that. Tell me what you think.
Okay.
Everyone should listen to that. Tell me what you think.
That's so funny. I mean, it's ironic because Taylor Swift was on the original soundtrack for Hunger Games, so it's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
it's true. It's true. So I don't know. Maybe there was some like influence,
We
from the
don't know. Suzanne
characters.
Collins could be a Taylor Swiftie. She could have been listening to Taylor Swift
She could.
music while
She
writing
could.
the book. I mean, that those albums came out after, but still, like.
Or actually, I need to look at years, but like it could have been vice versa. Like, what if Taylor was actually writing about Katniss and Peeta?
Well, let's see. I can look it up right now. Red. Are you talking about Taylor's version or the original version?
No, the original version.
Album. Okay, yeah. So it came out in 2012 and let's see.
That's when the first movie came
Book.
out, so it definitely existed.
Okay, yeah. So the book came out. No, the second book came out in 2020 2009. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so the book came out 2009 and the album came out in 2012. So you're right, maybe Taylor Swift was influenced by Miss Katniss.
Could be. I cannot confirm or deny. I just go with what I
This
feel
is
and what
the
I
first
interpret.
theory that we
So
have on this episode is Taylor Swift is influenced by Katniss Everdeen.
I'm here for it.
The girl on fire. Um,
Yeah.
Speaking of, and I want to talk about one other experience before we get into this book. Lee, what was another Hunger Games thing we did recently?
Oh my gosh. So we went to a filming location in Paris, of all places. Uh,
Crazy.
super, super cool that we got to go there. It is actually a location from Mockingjay. It is basically when they're going through like Katniss and the crew. What are they called? The
This,
the squad, the Plutarch's like glam squad,
yeah,
basically.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
I'm only thinking of freaking Fourth Wing with the squad names.
yeah, oh my gosh, so bad. We are real fans, I swear. Um, but like Boggs is in charge. He has the hollow. They're like avoiding pods, whatnot. And unfortunately, Boggs dies. But we did get to go there and it was very, very cool. We took a lot of photos. You did a lot of like, here's the movie and here's real life, which I think
Yep,
is awesome.
I love
And
doing that stuff.
we've definitely posted. So check it out on Instagram. And did we post a TikTok of it
I
yet?
think so. I have to double check.
I'm sure we
We
had a lot of
probably did
content, so we could
so
do
much.
even more.
Which is funny because that place is just apartment buildings. So it's people just live
Yeah.
there. For
Yeah.
watching us fully take, a whole photo shoot.
Hmm.
But it's a common area that people go to for that. Like people go to like different, it was like in a music video recently or something. Like people
Oh
use it all
yeah.
the time for stuff like that.
Yeah.
And when we were leaving, it was really cute. There was a family, like two
Mhm.
parents and then like their child, like a teenage, were they a teenager or
Yeah,
older?
it was like a teenage boy.
Yeah, and they were so they
I
came here for the same they came to for the same thing to see the Hunger Games location, and we were like literally
like a
hi,
love.
like same. So
Yeah.
clearly this happens often. We had pins, we had like our Hunger Games pin, and I bought the Mockingjay pin, and we took a lot of pictures, we did a lot of videos, and it was really cool to see all the sites because I know we see it on Instagram, like all people that go to visit the other sites, and we're like really jealous because a lot of the ballad sites were in Germany, for example, and a lot of the
Mm-hmm.
sunrise sites are probably going to be in Germany and Spain.
Hmm.
So, it was really awesome to say like we were there where it happened, I guess,
Yeah. We gotta add, I think, Asheville, North Carolina to our list
for
because
Hunger Games.
that's the first one.
District
Um,
12.
yeah. Whenever I'm in Hawaii, I go to Hunger Games
I was
Beach.
just about to say
But
Lee has actually been somewhere that's in Catching Fire,
yeah,
right?
yeah, it's over by Turtle Bay, which is on the north side of Oahu, and it's literally my favorite part of the island. They have the best sunsets, and the beach is like pretty secluded. There's actually the resort where they stayed, and there's a beach around there that I think they used for like aesthetic shots. But what they were actually like filming on is another beach that's kind of more tucked away. And they use it for other like films and TV shows too. They have like a little plaque that tells you what they filmed there. It's funny because like the left side of the beach is like actually houses. So obviously like they've edited that all out. But
Yeah.
it's the scene where they like come out of the jungle and they meet up with Joanna. So like she's covered in blood. You've got Wyrus and Beatty and they kind of have to like take stock and then like decompress. And then obviously we have the most iconic beach scene with the Pearl and Peeta and Katniss.
Which
So
is
it's
your favorite
definitely
scene. So it's great
it,
that you've been
it
there.
is. Yes, yes. So I'm very lucky to have gone and gone multiple times. It is often my phone background. So yeah.
That
So
is so
we gotta
great.
get you there too.
Oh, we didn't even mention our outfits. So when we went
Oh
to
yeah.
the one in Paris, we had outfits.
Mhm.
My outfit was based off of Katniss's blue reaping dress,
Mhm.
which definitely I will wear if we go to
Oh, Ash,
North
yeah,
Carolina.
for sure.
And then what was your outfit
Spot
based
on.
off of?
I did the catching fire like chariot scene. Like I really liked her dress. It's the one where she makes the face in the elevator for because Joanna's like stripping. So I tried to do that and I think we did a pretty good job.
Yeah, hell yeah, they look great. They were really
Um,
cool.
yeah. And then we did our little outfit change and went into the city.
And explore Paris.
Yeah.
Because that's what you fly to Paris for.
Mhm.
So yeah, we've had some really cool Hunger Games things recently, I would say. Like this is a series
Yeah.
that's like really important in our lives, has been important every day. I would say like there's always something, we're obviously really big fans of Sunrise. When we were in Europe, I actually got multiple copies of Sunrise on the Reaping, which is exciting.
Yeah,
Um,
which languages did you end up with? Definitely
Translations.
Italian, right?
No, I did not grab the Italian one actually.
You didn't?
No, because it was the same as I wanted different covers. I didn't just want like different languages, even though
Mhm.
I'm probably gonna end up getting different languages now because now people are gifting me other copies of Hunger Games. And I'm just like, okay, so now I'm making a shrine. Like I suddenly am making a shrine of all the different Hunger Games, and I'm kind of here for it.
Dang.
But I got I believe it's the Waterstones edition because it's in English, but it has a different I have it on my desk. Hold on. So it looks similar to like our version. It is bigger though, like in size.
Mm, mm.
And I don't know if the back is the same. This might be different. But the main difference is the actual book itself. So the book has an embossing with
Oh, it's
the
so pretty.
logo.
Purple.
Yeah, it's purple. And then the end papers and the inside have a snake on one side and then the bird on the other. And then also throughout the book,
Yeah.
on the chapters, is like a little bit of like little spark at the top.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So it's different in that design, which is what I really wanted was something different.
Hmm.
Um, I do have to get these are the other those are the UK versions of the original series, the covers. We did see them multiple times. I saw them multiple times. But I obviously don't have enough room for everything to come home with
Mm.
me. And I've seen them a lot, so I think I can acquire them over time. Let me get my other one.
Yeah. I mean, that's our thing, right? There's no rush. Like these books aren't going anywhere. We just want them.
So I got the German version of Sunrise on the Reaping in Switzerland. Um, Totally different.
Very
It's
different.
black with gold. Um,
No jacket.
no jacket because it's so, I don't even know how to describe it. Like I guess it's a flap that opens that covers the pages.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
The flap comes out.
Okay.
Um, there's no like end papers or design. It's just the cover, the side, and the back. Um, it's black, gold. It says a big L with a thing through it, which I don't know what the L is for. Like the design of this is really confusing to me, but I think if I look at the other ones,
Is it supposed to
German,
be like a 50? Because it's the 50th game?
it might be like the one with I also saw Ballad when I was there and it had an X and then there was um the bird and the snake were wrapped around it.
Yeah, that would make sense because that would be 10.
Oh, so maybe it is 50.
Interesting that they would focus on that.
Someone
Huh.
let us know. Someone who's German, let us know. So this is the one I picked up too. There is the Danish one, I believe, that has sprayed edges that I'm really wanting to get, and that's what I actually wanted to get when we went, but I couldn't find it anywhere because we didn't like the countries we were in didn't carry it, unfortunately. Um, but yeah, so that's something I started with Hunger Games, and then the last Hunger Games thing on the docket is in we make our 1 year of the podcast that same month. I am flying to
Oh,
London.
yeah.
I'm flying to
Yeah.
London, England for 3 days to go see the Hunger Games stage show, which is
Yeah.
opening in October. So we're
Yeah.
definitely gonna see pictures and reviews and stuff before that. I'm not
Hmm.
trying to see a lot before that. Um,
Yeah, don't get spoiled.
yeah, I don't want to.
But
And you can't take pictures inside, so it's not much to get spoiled from, which is good. And I am planning to do what dress did I want to do? I want to do, I think, Katniss's original, the red dress.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm gonna do
yeah,
something like that, and then my girlfriend's gonna do like Peeta's like suit with his the black suit and has the red throughout it, like little lines,
very
which
nice.
I think I have to literally make for her, which is pretty gonna be
Yeah.
really fun. And same with Candace's dress. I think I have to like kind of make it. So it's
I
gonna be an
was gonna say,
adventure.
yeah, you're gonna need to like add flames to it.
Yeah,
So,
I'm basing it off of someone's actual design of it. I'm not doing the movie one. I'm basing it off of a design that someone based from the book, which is
okay.
similar to what ended up being in the movie. It's not very different, but I'm gonna credit them and everything. But that's what I'm basing it off of is their design because they designed like it's so cool on Pinterest. I see it all the time. They design like all of the outfits throughout the
Mm,
entire book series,
I love
and some
that.
of them are similar to what came to fruition in the films, and some are different. So. I'm
Yeah,
gonna do that. I'm gonna buy all the merch, like everything I can. I'm gonna buy Playbill. I'm gonna buy everything.
I'm gonna have to.
Um, I
And you're
have
gonna have
to.
to make multiples because
You're gonna want stuff.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because we don't know if it's gonna come over to New York. I mean, I see it could because there is a stage for it, Roundabout Theater here in New York,
Yeah.
and I see it happening, but it's just not guaranteed. So I wanted to make sure that I saw it before.
Hmm. Hmm. It's tough these days because I think like the West End is so much cheaper to like put on a show than New York. So things are thriving a lot more over there,
Mhm.
unfortunately for us, fortunately for them. So it'll be interesting what happens.
Yeah, and then I think if it ends up moving, it might not even, if it moves, it might not even come here. What if it does well and it goes to like Toronto or it goes to like
Yeah,
another European country? Like I could see
like
it doing that
Germany.
too, like
Yeah.
Germany. Yep. So
Yeah.
it's hard. There's no guarantee that it'll come to the States. And if it does, like that we'll be there immediately. I feel like if it does, we're gonna try to work there.
Oh my God.
We'll bounce.
Actually, yeah, unfortunately.
Like we'll do anything we can to be in the room where it
Yeah.
happens.
Uh, yeah.
But yeah, so I'm gonna go see that. I try to convince Lee, but unfortunately she can't come because work is stupid. But
Work is busy.
she'll be there in spirit, and
For
I will
sure.
take lots of videos and update constantly. And my
Mm,
girlfriend's still amazed. She's like, I can't believe we're flying to London for 3 days. I'm like, yeah, we're doing that. In and out. We've got enough vacation time.
that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's that
Go
guy on TikTok
ahead.
that does it in a day, so we could do it in 3.
Totally. Totally.
Oh, I didn't mention the last time I read the series. So the last time that I reread this series was last summer, so 2024. I actually didn't finish rereading the entire series though, so I only reread
That's
Hunger Games and
okay.
Catching Fire. So I definitely think we should reread the entire series before our 1 year
Yeah.
anniversary. It'd be nice to reread Mockingjay, especially because like
I mean,
Mockingjay is so different from the movies. Like it's not totally different, but there's a lot in the books that.
yeah.
So I think that'd
Uh,
be really great.
yeah. I mean, we did a little bit of a reread before sunrise with our book club on Fable, which is Rebellion Reads. Please join us. Um, but we didn't
That
have
was just
quite
the
enough
first book.
time. Yeah,
Yeah.
we didn't have enough time to do the whole thing, so we should definitely do that.
Yeah. And we watch all
Um,
the movies in
yes.
order. Just sit down and watch it.
Yes.
We have to
Yeah.
do that like party where people watch the movies and then they like make the food and like design
Hmm.
it. I'm like, I don't even know
Hmm.
what we would do for Catching Fire. Well, probably
Well,
seafood, which I hate seafood.
we'd have to have a like a basket of rolls for sure.
True, we'd have different breads. It's just
Yeah.
breads. We'll just do a
We could
bread
do
dipping
bread.
party.
Yeah,
Bread with
bread
like
and
different dips.
yeah, bread and cheese. That's
That's
all we
it.
need.
A charcuterie board of Catching
Um,
Fire.
some some cookies, like pitas, bakery cookies. We could do
True,
that.
true, true, true.
Um, go back to because she gets that tin from his parents, and we could just read up on what we think that was exactly. Thinking those like animal crackers with like the frosting on top.
I mean, there was cookies in the Catching Fire movie when Snow is eating them. She's
Oh
like,
yeah.
they're pitas.
Hmm.
So we could do that.
Yeah, we could do that. That'd be
Maybe like a
fun.
soup.
Oh. Yeah, the bean soup.
Yeah, we'll do Beanhog soup. So stay tuned for our Catching Fire watch party. Actually, all of our
Yeah.
watch parties.
I was gonna say we can do our watch parties on Twitch
Stop. We should totally do our watch parties on Switch. That'd be so fun.
and we can go back to our release party status.
Oh my God. Yes.
Even if no one shows up, it would still be fun.
That would be so much fun.
Is Catching Fire your favorite?
I don't know anymore because of Sunrise.
Okay, what about of the first three?
Oh, I don't know actually, because I really go back and forth because I really do love the first book so much.
Same. I used to say Catching Fire. I think Catching Fire is my favorite movie, but book-wise, I really like the first one. I like how she sets everything up, and I like all of our introductions to characters.
I agree.
It's
I think
tough, but
Catching Fire is my favorite movie, and Hunger Games might be my favorite book.
I think yeah, the aesthetic of the Catching Fire movie is just so good.
We're gonna go into the Catching Fire book a little bit. We're not gonna break it down because we've talked about this book so many times and the series a lot on like almost every episode of our podcast. But we're gonna talk about some fun things. So this is a celebration episode. You know, we obviously took the first half to tell you about all of our Hunger Games updates in our lives and the fun things going on. And now we'll talk about some like nice theories to revisit, some ideas, especially after reading Sunrise on the Reaping and being anticipation of the movie. There's a lot of connections between this and Catching Fire. So all it's just a celebration episode rather than like just a theory episode, I would say. So our first thing we want to talk about is I sent Lee this TikTok recently by Nicolette Hill. She does a lot of Catching Fire, a lot of Hunger Games content, I will say, and other books, but she's a teacher. She teaches the Hunger Games in her English classes. She breaks them down. So it's really
Very
cool.
cool.
And in the video that I sent Lee, she's talking about how she actually was just rewatching the movie, I think in the re-release when it went to theaters, and somebody she was with mentioned to her that they always thought that the wedges in the arena were built for each tribute or a tribute in the game as a punishment to them. And in her theory recap, she recaps that, for example, the first wedge being the lightning and the electricity could have been for Beatty because he won his game by electrocuting people. There's
Mm.
another wedge that has a wave that comes in and like kills everyone with the big wave. That could have been for Annie because Annie's name was originally Reaped, and a lot of us I think will agree that the reaping is rigged. And after Sunrise and the Reaping. And then there's a Jabberjay wedge, which clearly is for Katniss and to torture her, especially with her being the symbol of the Mockingjay and all about the bird and da 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 da.
Mm.
She mentioned this, and this was before Sunrise came out. So she did mention like there is, bugs in it. There's a bugs with pincers as a, one of the wedges, and there's also the force field that could all be related to Haymitch because Haymitch's name was originally Reaped. And then the monkeys could be one for Anabaria because of her teeth and her becoming like this beast. And it could be all in a way to punish the victors that like to show that even the strongest among them are not the strongest. So I sent Lee this theory because I wanted to know her thoughts on it. Again, no, I'm not crediting this theory at all. This is something that this TikTok posted. We can share it. But what do you think?
I think some of it makes sense, like the Katniss one, maybe the Annie one, but the last few were way too far-fetched. Like, no. Um, and also like there's more people than there are wedges, so it can't completely be
Well, I
that.
don't think it's supposed to be that's for everyone, but it's for certain ones as punishment. Like
Mm.
them trying to punish those specific ones that are like, you know, vocal.
I mean, it makes sense, and like I think that's why we see Katniss in the Jabberjay wedge. I don't know. I feel like sometimes people do too much.
I know. It's hard. It's hard because you want to like go into these theories and stuff. And Suzanne, she does things on purpose and you know that, but sometimes you're just like, I don't know if this is really true.
And she's only showed us certain ones, right?
Hmm.
So, yeah, maybe she's showing like this was for so and so, but like the monkey one seems like a random one to me. I think she just picked a mutt and made it like scary.
Yeah.
Uh, I don't know, like, what do you think the like poisonous gas would be? And like, we also don't know all the victors well enough,
Yeah, their
I don't
stories.
think, to like say that exactly.
I could
Um,
see them using it in an aspect to like PTSD them, like they're gonna
mhm,
think back to the original game.
mhm,
But yeah, I don't think it's like the whole thing. I think it's only certain things.
yeah. And I think like in some way it does that to Virus, right? When she figures out that it's a clock, like
Hmm.
shit, at some point she loses it. So they definitely like it comes across like they get the message.
And I
Uh,
feel like the cornucopia being reflective too is like another callback to, well, that's in the movies, but
oh
like
yeah,
her
that's a
games
good
in a
point.
way.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's interesting.
So crazy seeing Wireless, like rewatching Catching Fire after we read Sunrise. It's like, it's
Mhm.
obviously, and like, the growth is just like, what happened? You're like, oh my
I
God,
know.
this is insane
But
from the
also
girl we
like
saw in Sunrise.
it must like the torture she had after Haymitch like really had an impact like
Yeah,
and very quickly. So it's pretty sad to
it's
think
really
like
sad.
here she was pretty spry and almost immediately just like wrecked, which is just sad.
Yes.
Um, but also nice to see like Beatty like make it through.
I know. And then we're like, where's Beatty's wife and second child? Where do they go?
Right,
Like, we're
right.
catching fire now. We're just Beatty.
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't mention them at all, so I don't know. Has he like
Was it all?
learned or is he just keeping it close to the chest?
Or did they make it not make it out?
Right. He's an interesting guy for sure. Also, I've always found it interesting that they put his wire into the arena. Have you ever
Well,
considered
that was,
that?
wasn't that Plutarch?
Okay. But like, I don't know. It seems a little
I
convenient.
think it was more convenient that nobody questioned it,
Mm,
if that made sense. Like nobody was like, I don't understand why is that in there? Like,
right.
and
Like,
they know that he's going in, like the person who made like all of their technology, like why would you not question it? But I
yeah.
mean, if there's no one else, if Plutarch is the person in power as the game maker, the lower game makers, like not the lower game maker, the employees are not going to question him. Like they might question, but they're not going to like go to President Snow. So like the only
Mm,
person who would really question it and say something would be President Snow, but he's not. He's probably not doing that.
mm,
He's not going to go look through every weapon that's going on there because he's just gonna. He Plutarch also made Snow trust him after
that's
all
true.
these years. So he's not gonna doubt it.
And
And he loves the setup of it. He loves the idea of it. He loves what Plutarch is doing. So for him, maybe it was just something that was able to just go under the rug.
and like BD is not their focus.
No,
You know, if you give
Katniss
him
is.
an advantage, like okay,
Hmm.
but yeah, they're after Katniss. Okay, so question. Because that theory talks about reapings being rigged, and so we know that Haymitch was reaped originally.
Hmm.
What do you think is the point of that? Like, Snow has tormented him for so long, killed all of these people that he's loved, and now at this point, he's just gonna throw him back into the arena. Do you think that's him being like, you can't help Katniss anymore? Or do you think he had something planned to like have some gruesome death like
I
between the two of them?
think it's, I don't think he ever, I think this was something, I'm imagining this is a conversation that Plutarch and Snow had while in their meetings that they did before the game. I think Plutarch wanted to make sure that Haymitch stayed on the outside because Haymitch was the one that actually could help them solve what they were going to do,
Mm,
not Peeta. I think we've discussed this in the past. Like, I don't think Peeta is not equipped enough in the knowledge of the victors and everything that's going on, obviously, to do this. And he
Hmm.
knew that if they reaped PETA, and Katniss would be begging Haymitch to volunteer, whether or not Haymitch actually does it, whatever the case may be, there's a chance that Haymitch would actually end up there. He was able to convince Snow to look at it this way. If you reap Haymitch and he ends up does going in, you kill a bird with, great. You can kill Haymitch, something that you've been wanting to do for years. Great torture, great TV. But he knew that PETA was going to volunteer. Like they just like the way that PETA, they all know PETA's love for Katniss is real. So he's presenting it to President Snow. Plutarch's presenting it to President Snow and saying, reap Haymitch because PETA will volunteer. And that will end this lovers thing. It'll end everything for Katniss. It'll be more torture to Katniss that this is happening. So I think the goal was, I think I've said this before too. I think the goal was always to get PETA in. But if you reaped PETA, there's a chance that Haymitch would have stepped out of guilt and all these things. And Plutarch can't have that. And President Snow can't have that because he's already
Yeah.
had Haymitch alive all these years, and he already put Haymitch in his place. He knows Haymitch is not going to do more. He knows Haymitch is not going to do more later on. Haymitch does do more. Obviously, it's his time. He comes to fruition and helps out with the rebellion. But like, the goal is to get PETA in, and if you just read PETA, there's a small chance that he wouldn't go in. That's my opinion.
Okay. I feel like it's gotta be Snow kind of deciding who's the bigger issue at this point. Is it
And
Katniss or is it
it's
Haymitch?
it's Katniss and PETA.
So yeah, I imagine that was really hard for him. Like I imagine he hated that a lot. So that's kind
Well,
of
it's
fun.
the first time he's actually reaped, so yeah.
Also true, but like, poor Haymitch. Uh, no, I just think that's interesting to think about. I also think it's so interesting because like we're saying all this like Plutarch talking to Snow, da 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 da, and like that's so off page. And like the only reason we're like thinking about that is because like they put it in the movie because they had to, right?
Yeah.
So, and like obviously like Suzanne has approved that, but like this is so much that isn't actually like written
Well,
that
in
is,
the in the book, we have to read it. In the book, doesn't he mention when they were dancing he had to go because they had a meeting, or is that only the movie?
I'm not
See, he
sure.
shows the clock to her, and that's how she's able to
Yeah.
think it. So that's why I was like, I think the off-pageness, even in the movie, was also in the book. Like the
But
actual
I
meetings
didn't
between
think,
Plutarch and Snow, obviously, are in the movies. But I think there is a part in Catching Fire in the book where he shows his watch and he has to go for a meeting because he's a game
oh,
maker.
but I thought he was meeting with like rebels. I didn't think he
I
was meeting
mean,
with Snow.
could be, but he could be meeting with Snow. Like that's what I'm saying. Like it's
Yeah, I mean, yes, there's definitely,
off
yeah,
page.
that. But yeah, interesting.
Yeah, I think it's. I love looking at it that way because it's like Sunrise and the Reaping just changed so much of our view of everything, of the reapings, of the movies, of everything. And I'm like, yeah, no, 100%. This was all staged. Like they wanted certain people in, and at that point in time, if you think about it too, if Hamish went in and PETA didn't go in, like PETA would then be vouching for Candace the whole time on the outside and like trying to
Hmm.
get her sponsors and stuff. And like the point is not to keep Candace alive. You want to kill Katniss. So like
Hmm.
having someone like that, that's a liability. He could turn with the hope and the love. PETA's representation of that, and that's what Snow doesn't want anymore. Although he wants Katniss out more, like PETA is the secondary thing that's a threat, and ends up that's why he tries to steal PETA and change PETA to be this opposite for the nation and
Yeah,
fails.
I was gonna say he could have just stolen Peeta faster and used him against her quicker.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting thing that like Suzanne chose to like do it this way and kind of like prolong the inevitable in a way. Um, Also kind of interesting that like Haymitch survives.
Hmm.
Now that I think about it, I'm surprised he wasn't caught in a crossfire somewhere.
Because he needed to see the sun rise on the day that there wasn't a reaping.
I know, with his geese.
Hmm. His geese. Um, Another thing I wanted to talk about with you. So I know we've talked about this before that, we love the Catching Fire movie and we haven't reread the book recently. So we can't be like, oh my God, on this page, da 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 da. But I know that you've mentioned to me you hate the fact that the movies didn't have the bread. So I want you to tell me why.
I think the bread is a very pivotal part of the story in terms of understanding the arena and understanding what is going inside and outside of the arena. So like it in the movie they show it more with like Finnick having like Haymitch's bracelet and to show like, oh, we're allies. And I think in the book there's more of a subtlety and it's like a calculation because they like look at the bread and they like count the bread and they like know timing and they're clearly like communicating with people on the outside. And I just think like I get why it can't be in the movie because it's a little more um like we as readers are being shown something like as like Katniss is trying to understand it. So we're kind of like picking it up first. And in the movie, like you kind of have to do that at the same time, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like as a viewer, you're with the character. So I think that's the main difference. I just thought it was really cool and it just kind of like showed like how much like Suzanne was thinking and like how intricate this whole process was and how like secretive it had to be. So,
And it was a callback to the first book too, because isn't it in the first book, or did she mention this book, like she knew District 11 had like rallied their money to give her something because the bread that she received was from District 11.
yeah. Yeah. And in like the films, they'll show like video clips of like her catching like oh 8 is rioting or whatever and like that we don't see that in the book but like if you have the little nods of like the bread or like they're sending her
District.
something that's when we see it so I get it but it's just one of those
Hmm.
things that's different between film and book.
And like in similar vein, the thing that bothered me was the like you're not seeing as much of the disabilities that Katniss and Peeta got from the first
Oh yeah,
game in the movies because
yeah.
like that's kind of why he can't keep up with the fog and why Mags
Mhm.
dies is because Peeta's leg is
Yeah,
like ruined from the first movie.
so
And
true.
then like Katniss says in the book that the reason she could hear the force field she knows was there because of her like messed up ear.
Hmm.
And it's like they don't talk about that in the further movies, which kind of sucks, is that like they did have like these terrible injuries that came to their bodies from the first game and it impacts them in the second one
Yeah.
and going forward.
Yeah. And it kind of goes along with like what you've talked about in the past of like we read things where there's war and like people aren't dying or like people aren't like getting hurt and it doesn't make sense. But like this very much like they went through like mental trauma, but they also had the physical trauma and like they
Hmm.
weren't the same afterwards.
Hmm.
So it does kind of stink not to be able to like see that because it makes a difference and it changes how they have to live.
And I can argue that's something that they could have done in the movie. They really could have shown it, I think.
Yeah. And like that's the whole reason why they fall on each other in the snow, like in the beginning. Like it's not
Yeah.
they're not just clumsy, like Peeta's slipping on his like fake leg. Like it works in the story. So like
Yeah.
they almost could have used it in the movie because it would have made more sense.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
But it was ice, ice on the ground.
Yeah, ice on the ground. I mean, they're so cute. So, yeah. But overall, I think they do a really good job to show
I do too.
things. Um,
So, one last question for you or for us. Why do we think the title was named Catching Fire? Why
what
Catching Fire?
what do you think it is?
Um, I mean, like eventually it obviously goes to I think her quote of like fire is catching and whatever and those things, but um I think it's just like the spark of a rebellion, like the idea of the rebellion finally taking off and going from
Yeah.
there. Um, it's just it's just funny because it's like the Hunger Games is named after the Hunger Games. Mockingjay is
Mm,
named after the literal bird in the book. So like this
mm,
one is like the only one that from the three core that's like named after things that are different. Like it's named of the concept of the book rather
Mm-hmm.
than like there's a fire in the book, so that's what it's called,
Mm-hmm.
Catching Fire, you know? Like so it's interesting that of the three core, this is the one that it's like she wanted it to stand out differently.
Yeah, I guess I never really thought about it. But yeah, by the end, like things have literally like exploded. And I mean, even like 12 has turned
That's
to ash.
that's true.
So
Like she
it's
could have named
kind
it,
of,
the end of District 12 or something.
I mean, yeah. Or what, I wonder like what an alternate title could have been. Um,
I don't even know if I could think of one.
like I want to say something about like reaping, like having them go back, or maybe like it could have been like quarter quell or
Oh
some,
yeah,
you know.
Quarter Quell.
Um, but yeah, it wasn't.
Like
And
imagine if it was Hunger Games Quarter Quell the last game. Like that was the serious name.
it could have been, although the last game isn't really a game. It's like
Yeah,
a real life game.
exactly.
Thanks. Yeah.
That's the name of it, the real life game.
Oh my gosh. It's funny though, because I've always liked the title Catching Fire. Like it just like
Same.
fits. And yeah.
It does. It's weird to think about if like looking back if you were to like change titles from all these books, like what would you change it to? Like I don't think I could. It's like
No,
looking back on other great ones. Like if you look back on Twilight, like imagine trying to name Twilight something different. Like it's just weird.
true.
The vampire and his daughter.
Oh my God. I mean, yeah, even like Breaking Dawn like fits, you know?
Yeah.
It's like a new chapter.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I wonder how you should find this out with your vast knowledge. Like what was the pitch like Suzanne Collins gave? Like, was it always the Hunger Games? Like,
I have no
I'm very
idea.
now
That'd
I'm
be a great question.
curious,
How did it
right?
get pitched?
And what was it like pitched as? Did she always call it the Hunger Games? Like, was that the concept, or did she have another name for the games?
Hmm. I'm sure there's like a Q&A out there somewhere with her answering that.
There's gotta be. We have to
We gotta
find
check the
it.
back of our Sunrise book to see if it says it there.
Yeah. Yeah, we need to go back. Um, but yeah, what else? I know you had mentioned Joanna. Did you have any last minute
Well,
thoughts on her?
yeah, I mentioned Joanna to you because I was like, well, obviously we get so much time with her, and I know that everybody wants to like see her story. And I don't know. I feel like we've talked about it though, if you like wanted to see her story or not.
Yeah, I feel like she's pretty well represented in this book.
I agree.
I think they kind of round her out and she serves her purpose. So, and I think it's almost cool that like by the end of Mockingjay, you know that she's gone on and is doing things in a different district and like is kind of happier, you assume. So I feel like for her, it's about moving on and not like looking back.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I don't think I want her story. I don't I'm also in the vein that we talked about this. We don't want every tribute story. Like
Yeah.
then you're playing into like what the games is and you just want to see a games.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not really a fan of seeing Joanna's, I think. I think I'm good.
I yeah, I think I'm not sure she's a likable person back then, you know?
I mean, she's enough to convince everyone that she's weak and cutie and
Well,
whatever.
yeah. I don't know. She might just be I think there's a lot like that seems similar to Wirus to me in
Mm.
sense of like tricking the other tributes. So I feel like we don't need that. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel
Maybe
like I don't know
we're,
what the meat of it would be in that terms.
yeah.
Like, what are we trying to get across? Unless if it's like a combo a book with like multiple, you know?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Or even like I don't know if she would do like a flashback, like her telling her story kind of thing.
Ugh, mm,
But
duh.
I don't know,
Sounds not fun.
maybe our listeners have a different opinion. So I guess comment what tribute you'd like to see or
Yeah,
just
let us know. Ugh, what a great trip down memory lane it feels like. So obviously, like I said, this was more of a celebration episode, talking about Catching Fire, but really just celebrating the podcast and celebrating our favorite series and all of our Hunger Games updates. So thank you guys for joining us on that celebration and trip down memory road. And we got some great ideas from this. We're gonna do the watch parties on
yes.
Twitch. We are gonna reread the series. We're gonna, do a bunch of stuff. So
We didn't even
bring it on.
mention the illustrated version that's coming out in
Oh my
October.
God, yes, we have to get
So
the illustrated version and
we're gonna have to
maybe
get
that's how we'll
that.
reread. Will we read with the two illustrated ones?
Yeah, they're so beautiful.
Yeah.
So
So thank
yeah.
you all for joining. Do you want to close us out with our different things? Where to find
Yeah, of
us?
course. So we already mentioned Rebellion Reads is our Hunger Games book club on Fable, but we have our Fourth Wing for First Timers as well. So we're kind of waiting in the wings for Rebecca Yaros on
Oh,
that.
did you
But
do that on purpose? Waiting in the wings?
oh no, no, but I'm pretty quick on my feet, huh? Um, so that's Fourth Wing. And then, of course, Mystic Scales and Fae Tales is our main book club. So please join us there. We're going to be starting the Gods and Monsters series. So the Book of
Mm-hmm.
Azrael. So if that
Mm-hmm.
has been on your TBR, definitely check us out. We are excited to dive into that. We have heard good things. We're also just excited to have another series. So we're going to be kind of focusing more on that. But we'll be reading other things on the side. So catch us on our
As
mini
always.
episodes. Those are every other Monday. And yeah, thank you for being with us for 6 months. Or if this is your first episode with us, welcome. We're so
Welcome.
excited to have you. And yeah, every Monday, new episodes wherever you find podcasts.
Thanks for joining, and we hope that you are diving into a great book right now. Happy reading.